this is Stenova.
And this is Johannes.
And you are watching Board Gaming Ramblings.
And welcome back to our top 100 games of all time. Today we are in the top 50.
Yes.
That means that if you only want to see a top 50, this is where to start.
Yes.
But there's 50 great games we have already talked about.
Yeah.
And today we are continuing talking about great games.
Yeah.
If you haven't seen the rest of them, you can go back and see them because they are right there on YouTube. In the first one, we talk a bit about the process, how we choose the games and stuff like that.
Yes.
And in this one, we're going to talk about then the games from 50 to 41.
All
and
the
if
good
you
games.
are here and you're thinking, who are these people? I haven't seen them before.
Hello.
Then you should click the subscribe button.
Yes.
Because then you can see more of us because we make videos about board games.
You're very decisive today. You can do this.
Yes.
You can do it. Believe in yourself.
I believe in you that you
Yeah.
can find the subscribe button and the bell button and just be happy.
Yes.
Should we begin?
Yes, let's
do you
do
want to
it.
begin? Because you are the beginner of the
always
games.
begin. Top 50, yeah.
Yes. Awesome.
Yeah, it's big, it's huge. And this is a big game. And this is a game that, has been on my top 10, actually. It's been in my top 10. And you're going to say this is too low. Because it's one of your favorite games of all time.
I know which one it is.
Yes. Tell me.
It has something to do with the country we live in.
Yes, it has.
Yes, so you can say it.
It's A Feast for Odin.
Yes.
This
Bye!
this is a very, very solid Euros.
No, you
game.
hate it.
No, I really like it. It's
You
in
don't,
the top
it's
50.
50.
Yeah. We have discussed this.
Yes, everything top 100 is good, but it's getting better and better.
Yeah, it is. And we don't know each other's lists.
No, but now I know that I don't know you anymore.
Yes.
I'm going to play it only by
I still think
myself.
it's really good, but it's not my favorite game. But in A Feast for Odin, it's a worker placement game with all the different, all the action spaces.
Like 64.
There's so many. It's very good with the Norwegians expansion, by the way. And you play these pieces in Tetramino style on your board to not get negative points. That's what you do.
I'm just sitting here neutrally, not saying anything.
Yes, you like the game. I suspect
You don't
it's higher
like
on
it.
your list.
You say I like the game and you don't like it. You're just
Well, I
putting
like
it
it
here
a lot.
to make me
just-
happy. Then I'm
Yeah.
going to start with a game that you don't have on your list.
Okay.
Which is a big game.
Okay.
It's called Barrage.
No, I don't have it on my list.
No, you don't, because you don't like good games, which you have already made
Established, yes.
in this video. Just yep, no Barrage, and I
Feast for
don't
Odin.
like Feast for Odin
Number
anymore.
50, I don't like it at all.
Yeah, so Barrage is a mean game. That's probably why you don't like it so
Yeah,
much. It
basically.
is a very interactive Euro game. It's not like Take That mean, because I don't like that, but it's an interactive mean.
Very.
Where if you do a boo-boo, and I see that, and I can exploit that, then
Yeah.
I will be happy and you will be sad. It is a game about getting water to make electricity, to get victory points and be happy. Or sad. If you are the boo-boo person.
Yes.
And you build almost at the top in the mountains, and then somebody's going to build just higher than you for
I
a bit
quit.
more
I don't wanna
resources,
do this.
and you will be sad.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a great game. I really enjoyed playing it with the expansion. I don't know, we started talking about, we have the expansion for this, if you've seen the other videos. I
Yes.
don't know why, but we actually played with this expansion.
played with this.
And it's really good, and I would really look forward to play it again, because you do like it, you just don't like it enough.
I like it. I tried to cull it.
Yes, didn't
That
happen.
is basically because it's not a game that I seek out to play.
Uh-huh.
But if somebody wants to play it, I'm not saying, oh, not that one is a bad game. I just have to brace myself for a possible boo-boo. Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to the next game you don't like.
Yeah, my number 49 is a game that I don't like at all.
good.
It's so bad.
This is your bottom 100
Yeah,
games,
yeah,
right?
yeah, of course. So this is Madeira, and this has also been higher on my list. It's still a really good game. You're thinking this is too low too, aren't you?
It's interesting because now I'm really looking forward to hear the top of your list.
Yeah.
And it makes
Maybe
it more
I'm a little
interesting.
closer to new this year. I don't know.
Okay. People are
judge
gonna be
me.
like, you just like new games.
Yes. Well, Madeira is a really good game.
Yes.
I really like the dice drafting in this game, where you take a die from the action space that you want, but it's hard because there's pirate dice. and you have to like have a specific. No, you don't. You put them down.
You draft
Yes,
three dice and
sorry,
a
you put
scoring.
them down. Yeah.
Yes.
But you want to have like higher number to do the action well,
Mm-hmm.
but you don't want to have like all the high numbers because I don't know. I don't remember.
You're just saying words now?
Yes. It
So Madara
crumbles.
is a very good game.
It is.
It is an
Let's
amazing
leave it at that.
game. You're
Yes.
gonna get resources, try to do different goals, send out ships, and it's interesting because you score these goals throughout the game.
Oh,
So you
yeah,
need to
so
be able to
interesting. Yeah.
try to. Oh, this year I'm gonna try to score this goal,
Yeah.
and throughout the game, and you can take these pirate dice and do extra actions. But if you have the most pirate dice, you're gonna lose like
That
all of
is
your
what
points.
I
That's
just
what you meant.
confused
Yeah,
with
yeah.
the numbers.
Yeah, no worries at all. So my number 49, talking about Cult of the New. This
Yeah.
is a 2021 game.
Okay, cool.
A game that we will never play again the way we did play it.
Okay.
It's Role Player Adventures.
Okay, cool.
It's a very nice game. We did a full review for this. It is
I've had it on my top 100
You did?
already,
Yes,
I think. Yeah.
so, yeah. It is a very fun game. Yeah, we did. Yeah, I
Yes.
remember it now.
Yes.
It is like it's story based. So if you don't like story, it's really not a lot here. It's like 85-90% story. The rest is a nice little dice rolling manipulation mechanism that's
Cards.
very
Yeah,
smooth.
cool.
Very enjoyable story. I've heard from the people who made it that there will be expansions.
Cool.
So we are keeping the box to get more expansions because I want to play it again because I'll play
Nice.
more because
we
it
had
is a
such
fun
an enjoyable time with that
game.
one. Yeah. My number 40 game for
40 game.
40,
My number 40 game.
my number 48.
48.
It's also a game that I do not enjoy at all. It's Trajan. You have already talked about this very recently on our top 100.
100.
I like it as well. It's a very cool game. Yeah.
Yeah, as we talked about then, like the
Yeah.
Mancala mechanism is what is the most interesting
it's so cool.
thing.
The puzzle. Yeah.
And the mini games
It's
are
like
kind of okay.
Pure awesome dry Euro-ness.
Yeah, but
really.
do you also like me like the Mancala the best?
Oh,
like
yeah.
the planning of that.
Yes, that is absolutely the coolest thing.
That makes the game work basically because the mini games are very like put this thing here, get a point.
It's like the combination of all the
Yes.
goodness, really.
Like the Mancala really puts it together into
Yeah.
being a game where you but
Without
it feels
the Mancala, it wouldn't make sense.
no, because you just I do this action
Yeah.
and I get 60 points.
Yeah, cool.
But what really makes this game cool is the fact that the mini games by themselves, like it feels like a mini game. Like you
Yeah.
do this, you get a point. You do this, point salad
Cool
game.
and salad.
So that is your number 48.
Yeah,
My
40
number
game.
40 game is I'm gonna say the same thing you said when you had it on your list.
Oh.
This is the only game on the list that we don't own.
Oh, I don't know what it is because I've forgotten it.
It's Lancaster.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
You had it on your list,
Yes,
right?
I
And you
did.
said exactly those words,
Yes,
I'm pretty
I did.
sure. Lancaster is a very nice game. It's a worker placement game, but the workers are different heights, so it's kind of like a worker placement auction game.
Yeah.
So you try to be, when
Really
everybody
cool.
has placed all of their workers, then you're going to resolve them in order. So you're trying to be the player who has workers there at the end of the round, kicking out people and trying to get to do the actions.
Yeah.
A very nice game, one that I would love to own, but I can't seem to find it anywhere right now. If you know somewhere we can find it, let us know. We would love the big box with the expansions. Great game. Want to play it again.
That's not too much to ask, is it?
No.
Just send it.
No, I meant if you knew somewhere we could buy it,
Yeah.
not send it to us.
We just want the big box with the
Yes,
expansions, please.
if you send us the base game, we're going to burn it with fire.
Okay.
Next up.
Next up, it's another really good game.
Oh.
It's 47.
I thought you were going to say the name of the game.
No.
Like, what
It's
game
number
is that?
47, and
Yeah?
it's Tiny Towns.
Okay.
And it's so many good games, and they're like
Like, there should be like 100 good games on the list.
yeah,
That
there's
should be
so
like
many
the
good
point of
games,
the
but
list.
Tiny Towns has also been higher on my list previously, so it's dropped a little, but it's basically because it's a little hard to get to the table with new players because it seems very simple.
Yes.
But then you can
Tiny.
it's tiny, but it's very easy to make mistakes that will like very suddenly cascade to your
Doom.
the end of the game for you, my
Yes.
friend. But it's really very interesting because you're building. Have you had it on your list?
I
don't know.
I feel like we
It
talked about it
feels very
recently.
familiar,
But
yeah.
we did play it for Keeper Call as well.
Yes, we did. But you're basically putting out these resource materials, cubes in different colors
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
on your board in different shapes, and then you make buildings there. So you want to be open for other people because the resource that you pick all the other players have to place as well. So you have to be like ready for everything to come at you. But then you also have to build smart so you don't block for yourself, building your future city. Yes, it's cool.
Really enjoyable game. It has many expansions. We have played with one. I'm talking about the expansions again. I don't know why. My number 47 is a game that can either really rise or really fall, because I have only played it a couple of times, and or 3-4 times. I don't remember. I think 3 or 4 times. But it's a bigger game, and I haven't played it for quite a while.
Okay.
And it is a game called The Gallerist.
Oh, yeah.
Because this is one game that I really liked it, but I don't think I've played with people, and I don't have understood it myself, but I haven't played a game where everybody understood how the game worked.
Yeah.
So it's one of those, like, many Lacerda games, like this is the one that, I don't know why, but this is the one that most people have had trouble with understanding how everything worked together, including you.
I really struggle with this game. My brain and this game are not compatible at all.
So I'm looking forward to play it. We were supposed to play it now a couple of weeks ago, but we didn't. Not interesting information for you.
Hopefully, it means that we're trying to get it played very soon.
Yes, hopefully we'll get it played during this spring on Keeper Cull.
Cool.
Can't wait for that. It is a game where you have a gallery. You are a gallerist, which is basically someone who runs a gallery, and you try to find new artists and buy their stuff, and they're not really popular, and then make them super popular, and then sell their stuff to get a lot of money. And of course, you try to get
is that
victory
what the
points.
game is about?
You thought it was about us walking around and doing things in a park. So that is The Gallerist.
Yes, my number 46 is Seven Wonders. And I really like this game because it's very simple. It's a lot, some icons to get past the first time you play it. You can play it with 7 people. And you do all the drafting because you're building like your civilization, and you draft cards and you draft simultaneously, so there's little downtime. It's easy concept to understand, so it's very nice for big groups, and it's a nice gateway game as well, I would say. We recently got to play the new version, which really looked good. And
it's the same game.
And we played with some expansions as well. I'm just like bragging a little bit.
Yes, we do have the expansions for Seven Wonders.
But yeah, that's why it is a good game.
Yeah, because we have some expansions for it. I like it. It's a fine game. I don't think it's on my top 100. I think basically I've played it to death. I think it's a good game, but not one I would seek to play out. Like, we did keep it.
Seek to play out. Seek to
play out. I don't think we have played for Keeper Cull. We only played it for the comparison. No, it's still upstairs. My number 46 is Many Games.
Oh.
Yes.
But
it's not called that. But I'm gonna like choose one game, because this is the one I always choose when I say these games, and it's Devon. Yes.
Yeah.
That's good. We know each other. We finish each other's
sentences.
Yes. Or sandwiches, which is more the fun joke thing, which nobody has heard before. It's new. We wrote it. We didn't. Devon and the GIP series, and you could probably like put many other abstract games in here, but like abstract games. Not that I didn't do like, oh, this is my abstract game, and then no other abstract games. But Devon was the game that we played, the abstract game when we played. I was like, oh, this is really cool.
Yeah.
It's not like chess where you have to be super good at knowing all the moves and knowing everything and looking into the future and be a psychic to play the game, but Devon is a game where you pretend that you know what you're doing, and you play some pieces on the board, and then you move them around, and suddenly you see some really cool moves.
Yeah.
And you try to do so. You're moving them. You have these kind of donuts that you move around, and you try to move them on top of other people so that you own these towers, and you're jumping around, doing things, and killing the other people's donuts.
Yeah.
And trying to it's a very nice game.
You're basically trying to build a tower where you are at the top, so that you at the end, like when the tower doesn't have anywhere to move, you are on the top of it.
Yes,
because and then you get the tower.
And the cool thing about Devon is that you have these Devon pieces, and then you have the other color pieces. And if a color piece any time of the game can't trace to a Devon piece without having a space that's empty, then all of the pieces that can't trace will go out of the game.
That's cool.
So you're trying to do like these moves where you suddenly like cut off half of the board so that all of the pieces go off, and you try to own the most pieces at the game, at the end of the game. And you have many other games in this series which all are very good. and I want to play some of them more because there's a couple of them we only played a couple of times.
Yeah, I agree. I really enjoy the series, and Devon is my favorite of that series as well.
Yes.
My number 45 is Age of Steam, and this also is a really, really tight and cool game. If you do a boo-boo, it can go very badly for you.
Yes.
Like last time we played Age of Steam, we played it for Keep or Call. I put myself in a really bad opening spot,
Yeah.
and I struggled to be in the game basically for the entire game. And we were two people who struggled that way, and the others thrived. But it's really fun, and I like it. And it has some simple concepts, but it's still a heavy game. Well, don't you agree?
I do agree, since
Yeah.
I had it on my low complexity, high depth video. People were like, no, you're crazy. And I'm like, yes, I'm crazy.
Yes,
but I
you
do
are.
think it's kind of
But it's a
low
very good
complexity.
game,
But it's so expandable. It has like hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of maps with different
Yes.
rules that change up the game. It's the only game where I have given up after one round of the game. We played a 3-player game, and I was like, I did this thing where I was like, okay, I was telling other people like, okay, if I do this round, this round, this round, this round, in the 6th round of the game, I might be able to do anything. So we just scrapped it and started again.
Yeah.
Fantastic game. I think it might be better than you think it is, but it is a very, 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 very good game.
Yes.
My number 45 is a underrated game, a game that I think more people should own.
It's Age of Steam.
It's actually no. It is my favorite, it's the one I always talk about when I talk about medium games.
Okay.
It's like, this is like the quintessential like medium game, like the perfect medium
I
weight
think I've had
game.
it on my list already.
I think you already had Riverboat
Yes,
on
I
your
did.
list.
Yeah.
Riverboat is a perfect game in that kind of medium style because you have these phases of the game, which also Age of Steam has, which is one of the reasons I think it's low complexity, where you do like, you do this, then you do this, then you do this, then you do this,
Yeah.
and those are the actions you cannot do anything else. I'm like, oh, I want to do this now. No, you can't.
No, you can't.
Because it's the wrong phase. And everything you do in it is kind of like simple, in Riverboat, of course, not Age of Steam, and still very fun every time I play it. I think I've played it over 10 times, and I still think it's a very solid and fun game.
I agree. I've had this recently on my top 100, so I
Yes.
like it a lot as well.
Awesome.
My number 44, it's In the Year of the Dragon, and this is a Stefan Feld game which is really like risen for me because I
yeah.
really appreciate it as a game. Well,
That's a good reason to have it on the list. You appreciate it as a person.
well, I have a tendency to like games that I think are very difficult, like that I cannot master a bit less because it's really hard to get my brain around them. And In the Year of the Dragon is really hard and really tight and hard to master still. But now we played it a few more times. We played it for Keep or Call. I think no, we might not actually.
I think we have.
Yeah, but it's really good, and it's a game that I think it's here. It's there. It's everywhere. Well, you basically go through these. Each round in the game has a catastrophe or some hurdle or negative thing that's happening, and you have to plan for that happening, but it's very, very tight, so you can't plan for everything. So you have to be like, okay, I can do this, but I have to then sacrifice being good at this thing then, and all of your people die and stuff.
Yeah, and also this is another game that has that like round structure where like you're gonna do one action, then you're gonna get one person, then you're gonna do the event, and then it's the next round. So it's 12 rounds, but it's very smooth. It's also one of those games that are really best with 4 or possibly 5 players. I think is the best.
Player order in this game is
crucial.
Yeah, so interesting.
Yeah, because everybody needs the same actions, but if you're first, you're gonna get to choose the action.
Yeah.
And then the other players have to pay 3 coins, which is a lot of coins to be able to do the same action. This is another fantastic game, and it's really interesting actually, because the more I hear of this list of yours, like especially
This
these
list
games,
of yours.
this list of yours, the more I hear about it, I'm really looking forward to see the top of the list, because you have stellar, fantastic games on
There's
this
so
list
many good
today.
games. Yeah.
And it's fun that we don't agree on everything. Then we have my number 44, which
Yes.
is another game from 2021.
Okay.
It is called The Great Wall.
Yeah.
This was your number 2 of 2021.
Yeah, so it might be higher on my list.
It's a fantastic game. It has a bad rulebook. It's a very long game, but when you get into it, if you can get a group to learn the rules and play this, it's a fantastic.
Yes.
It looks amazing.
Oh, yeah.
The worker placement is tight. The worker placement has an interesting mechanism where you can try to follow, everybody gets to place on everybody's turn. You try to fill up these spaces so that you can actually trigger the spaces.
Yeah.
You try to build buildings. You try to build this fort so that the enemies can't come and attack you. And there's many ways to go. There's many different special abilities. Everything is super OP. There's many different things you can do. We have expansions that we haven't played, and I'm looking forward to play them. And I don't know why I'm talking about the expansions all the time.
Yes.
But actually it's really fun because I always thought of myself as a person who don't have expansions, and when making this, I feel like I have all the expansions.
Yeah,
So,
we have a lot of expansions.
we
We
do.
just need to play
Play
them.
them.
Yeah.
Yes.
My number 43 is Caverna, and this is a game that we played recently for
Yes.
Keeper Cull, and we just wanted to play it again and again and again and
Yes.
again. It's really fun. So before Keeper Cull, this game I think wouldn't have reached my top 100 at
No,
all,
yeah.
because my memories were so blurred,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I didn't really know where it stood. But now I just had such a fun time, and I can't wait to play it again. It's a Uwe Rosenberg game with farming, but also mining.
Yeah.
And you have to feed your workers, and you have to get all the resources so you can build buildings, and you have to house people and animals. So classic, but with a little twist.
Fantastic game, and
Yes.
and a big supply. You get all the buildings are laid out. That's kind of the hard thing about the
Oh,
game.
yeah.
Is that like, oh, you want to build a building? Well, there's 45 of them to choose from.
Of these?
Good luck on choosing
Yeah.
the right one. And just this list of yours.
This
And
list.
this is so like talking about like I feel like we are very privileged and lucky to be able to
Oh,
play
yeah.
all of these games.
Yes, absolutely.
Because hearing this list now, this could have been a top 10 list. Like
Yes.
these games are so
Yeah.
good, and I
And
cannot
that's why
wait.
I can't stress enough that these are good games, even though they are in my top 50s.
But it's top 100. Like we have played 1,000, more than like 1,500, 2,000 different
Yes.
games. So in the top 100 is a big thing.
Yeah, they
Especially,
were really solid games that
Oh, yeah.
didn't
Fantastic
get to
game.
my top 100, and
Yeah,
it
yeah, yeah.
made me sad.
and now that we're in the top 50, it's like even more the solidest or of the solid
Yes.
games. 43. I'm pretty sure you had this. Yes, because I remember you only remembered half of the name of the game. It is Pulsar 2849.
Yes.
Yes, you did have it, right?
I have had it.
Fantastic game with this cool round board. You're moving your little spaceship around and trying to set up pulsars to get points. Many different strategies, many different ways from Vladimir Sushi. Fantastic game. You have technologies. You have this tech tree where you try to build up your own way of getting points. Building your own strategy in that way is really, really cool. It's dice drafting, so you draft to draft the dice and getting to do different actions from that, and you never have enough actions, and you
No.
have so many things you
Yes.
want to do. Playing
Yep.
with a full game where you also have your own little tech tree, and you have the tech tree. There's so many things you want to do, and you try to like squeeze out bonus actions and try to get the points. Getting those like one cool strategy is getting these gyrodynes to start spinning out in the on the board, because those will get you points at the end of every round. So if you get those out at the beginning, those is very nice. You can get these space stations where you also need to activate with dice, but then they will give you income and points.
yeah.
And there's just so many ways to go here and so many different things to do, and I love it.
Yes, I agree. I liked it as well,
Yes.
and you know it. This next game is a game that pains me to see so low on my list, because this has been high.
Yes.
My number 42 has been my number 5 or 6
Okay.
earlier, and we recently played it for Keeper Cull, and it has fallen. It's At the Gates of Loyang. So
Okay.
it's still a really solid Uwe Rosenberg game for me,
Yeah.
but I don't have this profound love for it now as I
No.
had before, and a little of the reason for the the way that I have like cherished it
Yeah.
is nostalgia.
Yeah.
I'm sure about it. So 42
Yeah.
is still a very, very good game that I really, really enjoy, but it has fallen a lot. And it was unexpected. I didn't expect it to happen, but it has, because there's so many other good games.
Yeah, it's a really good game. Not my favorite Uwe Rosenberg game, but it's a different Uwe Rosenberg game.
Yes.
It feels very different from many of his like worker placement farming games.
But I really like, because you're getting 2 cards at the beginning of your turn, and you can have market stalls that you can trade in. You can have like regular customers or casual customers that you want to deliver to, and you have these also fields that you want to sow your vegetables in, so you get vegetables like each turn. So it's really interesting to do that optimization. Optimization is the word. I like it.
Absolutely. My number 42 is a game that starts with a T.
T, okay.
It's Teotihuacan.
Okay, cool.
Fantastic game. You are moving. It's basically a dice movement game.
Oh, yeah, it is.
You're moving dice, trying to get them to be in the same space as other of your dice, but not hopefully like most likely, or try to not get them where everybody else is, because then you have to pay way more stuff to be able to do the actions you want to do, and all the resources are very tight in this game.
Yes.
And you're trying to move them around, and and when you end up somewhere, your dice is gonna like get older, so you're gonna move it to another pip. So you're trying to get like 3 5s, for example, somewhere to get the best action on that space, and it's really, really interesting, because it's kind of like a combo spamming game. Like, you're looking at the setup and you're trying to find like, okay, is there any combos I can try to get and spam those combos. There's different ways to play the game, but that's one way to play the game, trying to spam an action. And then of course you need to do other actions as well, but then you try to accumulate your plans so that you end up spamming that action, and then you try to do another round and do these different actions to supplement for your strategy. I really enjoyed the expansions that we played for it. We have a new one, I think. No, that was for Tekkenu. We don't have a new one for this. We did not. We just got the first one of the expansions.
Yes.
But I really enjoy this. It's a solid dice movement game with many interesting strategies, and it's a fun game to play.
Yeah, I agree. I really look forward to play it again, because it's been a long time.
Yes.
Last time I played it, I remember that I felt annoyed by the game because my strategy didn't really work.
Yep.
And I felt that it was because that nobody else like did the thing that was supposed to like work together with my strategy. So I had to do everything by myself, which was really hard, but I'm looking forward to play it again and change my mind. Yes, maybe. My number 41 is a game from 2021.
Cool.
And it's Azul Queen's Garden. So this is my favorite of the Azul games. I think it really has like taken Azul to another level, like weight wise, because it's a little heavier than the others. I really like the others as well, but it was really crunchy, thinky. The way that you paid for your pieces that went on the board and the way you drafted the pieces was really interesting, and just like a very pleasant but thinky, crunchy game.
Yeah, I already had it on my list.
You did, yes.
Fantastic game that I also really, really enjoy. My number 41 is maybe the first like big surprise for me, and the first like shocking thing on my list. This has been also in my top 10.
Yeah.
And this is Concordia.
Oh, yeah.
We haven't played it in a while. Looking forward to play it. Also play with the Venus expansion. I just basically played it so much. I still like it, but I don't have that love feeling for it anymore. We will see when I play it again.
Yeah.
It is a fantastic game where you play a card and you do the action. It's like a MacGurts game with very few rules. Play the card, do the action. Play the card, do the action. One of the games where I can plan very far ahead and have a lot of fun, but I don't have that much fun with it anymore. Looking forward to play it again.
Yeah, I agree. I like it. Don't love it.
So that is the end of another top 10. We're into the top 50, only having 40 more games to go.
Yes.
And looking at your top list this time, this is going to be some
excited.
very, very cool
I'm very
games.
excited for the rest. Yeah.
So that means that this is the end of the video. If you are still here and you have not subscribed, you can do so now by
clicking the subscribe button. It's fun and it's free and it makes us happy. Like this. And if you want to do something that's not free, you can.
Go to patreon.com/boardgamingramblings and support us there. That's very helpful. And that's the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Johannes.
I'm Sunniva.
And you've been watching Board Gaming Ramblings, and bye-bye.